is Heidi Enghelberg. I'm here with Congresswoman Ileana discussing cyberterrorism and this new threat to our way of life. Cyberterrorism is considered an asymmetric type of war, and even American Air Force added cyber war as a new dimension to air, sea, and land.
And you have this book that you wrote.
I have this book that I wrote in Spanish,
and I have one. And you have one in English as well.
I have one in English as well.
What do you think that the U.S. should do that we're not doing to counter this cyber terrorism? And do you think that we're doing anything?
First of all, cyber terrorism slowly is getting into cyber warfare. It's very dangerous. It's working on two ways. It's working on the economical way, and it's working on the financial way. And the act of cyber terrorism has to be considered as an act of war. In the moment that will be considered as an act of war, then every country can act against a cyber terrorist attack.
Give me some examples of where cyber terrorism has or could be conducted in terms of financial, for example, when you say that.
Everything on the civilized world run on computer. If you attack a computer, you can move money around, you can launder money around. The credit card can be laundered around using computers and using accounts, using money, because the essence of terrorism is money. You cannot have terrorism without money. To do a terrorist act or to be a terrorist group, you need money and you need financing. You don't have financing, you don't have terrorist groups. Everything is connected to money. If they move money around, if they attack a financial system, or if they do all kinds of tricks that you can do on the internet or with computers, then you have money to finance and to finance the groups and channel the money that you take from other people, from other organizations, into the terrorist.
And what else should people know about your book and about the issue of cyber terrorism?
I think that it's very important. Cyber terrorism it will be our way of living, because we'll attack the medical records, we'll attack the financial records, we'll attack the military. I was coming in an airplane. Now all the airplanes, they have Wi-Fi access. An airplane with a Wi-Fi access, although it's very good for the travelers, you can put an electronic device, an explosive device, and you can trigger that device. You don't have to put it in a suitcase, unattended suitcase. You can put today an explosive device in an airplane and trigger it on the air, because you have internet access. Every airplane has an IP number now.
It's a new type of warfare that we have to be prepared.
We have to be prepared, because we, as a Western civilization, we rely very much on computers. That's the reason that it's an asymmetric type of war, because a guy with a laptop with an internet connection somewhere in the world can attack and can do havoc in whatever environment that is connected to.
And do you think that the U.S. is doing enough to beef up our part of it, to make sure that we can fight this asymmetric?
All the countries, they have to fight this, because at one point in time, every country will be attacked as a preemptive step, will be attacked via cyber terrorism, will be attacked via computers, because this is one of the easiest way to be attacked. This is one of the easiest way and cheapest way to create a diversion. That is, having computers and cyber networks is the ideal case of the war. In the Second World War, you didn't have any computers. The maximum, you had the radio, so you can cut into the enemy radio waves. But in our case today, we have computers that hold information, computers that hold navigation for the missiles, computers that holds order for the submarines, computers that holds all kinds of information, economical information for conducting of war, and not only conducting of war, conducting of policy. In the Second World War, which is we have to learn a lot from the Second World War. In the Second World War, maximum you have a few coding machines, very good coding machine like Enigma or...
Right.
And it took all the efforts of the English and the American to break a little bit of the code, because they have 4 versions of the same Enigma. The most advanced were the Enigma of the Kriegsmarine, of the Navy, but you couldn't break them. And you see how the Germans at any given time didn't have more than 11 or 12 submarines in the Atlantic. With 10 or 12 submarines, you see how much havoc they created in the logistics line between US and England. Almost, in October 42, almost the war was lost in Atlantic. So what I want to say that the development of our computer system today is giving the terrorist and the enemy of the state, of whatever state, an ideal case to work against the infrastructure and the very essence of the state. A few words, let's say that tomorrow you're going to a speech, and somebody will change just a few words in your speech or in a president's speech, and he will read something and a few words will be changed. This will create maybe an international problem. Somebody will change the coordinates of a missile in flight. Somebody will change the order of a submarine. Only talking very advanced things. But every day we see cyber terrorist attack. One of the characteristics of a cyber terrorist attack is that the people who's attacked is not going to say immediately that he was attacked, because he's embarrassed. Every terrorist attack
so
will take a few
long time for people to
let's say a bank will
happened.
not say in the first day that he was attacked, and 500 million credit card information was stolen. No, they will assess the damage. They will see what they can say.
And we have seen that not by cyber attacks, but by inadvertent human error in our own system, where computers were stolen, and all of this information, sensitive information, was lost. Who knows who got them? Also, the Veterans Affairs, they had all of their Social Security numbers lost for a while, and who knows who had that.
It's not lost. It's somewhere database. Because normally in a laptop, you don't have to have information. You have to have information stored in a server, and you have to access the server with a very secure password. Because the way that we do computing today is the way that we do it in a very open way. It's the way of the internet, phase 1, but we have to go to another type of internet when the states affairs are conducted in their own network, and internet as we know it, as a private access and individual access to knowledge, is done in another way. But the two networks has to be kept separate, because we'll be attacked, and we are attacked every day, only that nobody's acknowledging that we are attacked because of...
We wait to get the news out because we want to contain it, contain the damage. We don't want to get a public affairs debacle. And then by the time they get the news out, you know, a week has gone by.
Exactly, and the information, you can move the information very easily. Yesterday, I was looking at the television a few days ago that they store terrorist information into picture on the... this is a very old technology, that you take a text, you minimize it, and you put it in a picture, in 1 pixel of the picture, and after this you send the picture. They will see a picture of a dog or a picture of a happy family, and in one of that picture, in one of the corner, you have a lot of information that you cannot send it via email. You know, this is a system done by humans, the computer and the networks, and it's very easy to be undone by the same humans. Only that you have to consider private or state attacks on other countries' network as an act of war, and you as a legislative power, you have to see what will happen the next day, when a cyber attack will be considered an act of war.
What can we do here in Congress legislatively to prepare for this, or to manage this and to prevent this?
Slowly, there are countries around the world that they are considering attacking the country's network as an act of war, and they have very strong punitive legislation. But you can attack somebody's network from inside the country or from outside the country. That has to be an international consensus that cyber terrorism, cyber warfare is an act of war, as is considered a territory of war. You have air, land, and sea, so now they added space.
It's other dimensions.
Space,
yeah.
That is the fourth dimension. So they added space. The United States Air Force, they have a space command, and into the space command they have cyberspace, because it's immaterial on one point of view, but on the other point of view, it's like stealing information and like attacking.
And you don't need this huge battle area, because it's one person in the computer.
Exactly, it's a very cheap,
Yeah.
a very cheap and inexpensive type of war. That's the reason it's called asymmetric. And Sun Tzu says once that there is a word of Sun Tzu. This is
An able leader who can be successful in defeating the enemy troops without fighting is the one who gets very good. So this is Sun Tzu. This was 25 centuries ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And he got it right.
You know, sometimes a government will put other people, private people, to attack somebody's another country network, only not to be accountable. They say, no, listen, this is not done at the government level, it's done at the private people level. But nothing can be done in internet. Everything is traceable, because every time you go on the internet you have to have an IP number. So everything is traceable. Because everything is traceable, it's very easy to see where the attack is coming from.
We just need to beef up that part of our armed forces, consider it part of our armed forces, because it is, and train people and have more
very talented people. I think that they have already, they instituted already a cyber command, and it will be part of the Air Force.
Well, stay here. We'll talk more about it.